How's it going, Renegade Nation? Before we begin the video, I want to give a big shout out to our most recent Patreon supporters and YouTube members. Mark, Professional Alcoholic, Ryzen, Isaac London, Brendan Wells, Julian Hernandez, Robert Roll, Ronald Coyote, Elijah Moffat, Meme Review, Melly Mel, Alexander Vertinsky, Aiden Shelton, Kasicle, Rin Naru, Tenebris Narud, Oki, Alpha Nightmare 666, Cole Lowe, Ace Attorney Fan 621, Abigail Stemper, Ali Mocha, Scratch Addict, Tentacles, Scar X Scar, John Doe, Tyler B, ZK, Apprentice, Smite Me God, Megs Wild, Quinn Woods, Jibin, Alec, The Names Do, Kleiner Toaster, Epic Binge Watcher, CTH, King Jester, Stated Whale, Ethan Paragoy, and Charlotte. And as always, I'd like to give a shout out to our executive producers, Bevan Brummett, Hades Belt, Tavon, and Alaskan Josh 98. Thank you all very much for your support. And if you want to become a Patreon supporter, click the link in the description to find out more. We'll see you there.
Hey, don't bump me, I'll bump you.
Bump you, bitch.
I'm walking here.
Hey, oh.
Okay, if you take my double, you took my double. You're officially
guy saying
Oil in trouble?
you Yep, the
Barely made that. No! You had to know it more than one! Oh, Jesus. The video hasn't even started. But it's okay. So, Area 51. You remember the raid that supposedly was supposed to happen in Area 51? Just be like, they can't stop us all, and then almost nobody showed up for it. Like, I think it was 100,000 people on Facebook be like, yeah, we're gonna do it, we're gonna be there, and like only like a few thousand yahoos showed up. Most of them weebs who just were Naruto running behind newscasters.
When was this?
When was this? It was like just before 2020.
Oh.
I think it was 2019 when it happened. I'm not sure.
Like that, yeah.
It's been a while. Hold on. Let's take a look and see. The Area 51 raid. Yeah, it was 2019. Storm Area 51, September 20th, 2019. And they actually had like a concert and all that. And, you know, nothing happened. Like, yeah. 150 people participated in the main event, and 101,500 participated in the festival.
Yeah, they were basically like, yeah, we're actually going to do it because they can't stop all of us if we all show up. And everybody was like, yeah. And then the U.S. government was like, just so you know, if you try this, we will shoot you.
And here's the thing right here.
And then
like,
everybody was like,
more
okay,
than
never mind.
Like, someone made the thing on June 27th and set it up for September 20th. Over 2 million people responded as going, and 1.5 million responded interested. Now, if 2 million people would have showed up, that'd have been interesting. But instead, 1,500. That's it. Just goes to show you, not everything is, you know, like people, like when people talk big games online and in real life, nothing ever happens. That's a
Perfect example.
pretty good example of it right there. Yeah. So. Also, this is your first introduction to Internet Historian. This is Internet Historian. He is quite possibly one of the best creators on YouTube. Nobody knows what he looks like. And we know he's Australian.
His face is in the corner down at the bottom right there. That's him. That's
the
exactly
meme.
what he looks like.
It's a meme. Do not be swayed by Nick's attempts at foolery. That is literally a meme. But overall, the Internet Historian and his quality of videos is stupendous. He did one called Cost of Concordia, which is right here. It was his last video more than a year ago. And it basically talked about the Concordia, which was something I was completely ignorant of.
The Costa Concordia.
Well, no, yeah.
Costa Concordia.
Yeah, Costa Concordia. The Costa Concordia.
So we were like talking about like, I wonder what this is like, and I was like, Concordia is a college apparently, and I was like, maybe they're talking about like the tuition for the college, and
no,
he's making fun of the name of a ship.
Yeah,
A ship with a captain that is probably the most.
Was it a Spanish ship?
No, it was Italian.
Italian.
Yeah,
Oh.
so it was in the Mediterranean, and it was sailing across the coast.
And it had the most incompetent captain of all history.
The ship literally hit rocks, took on water, and hit bottom and went sideways, and over 30 people died.
Wow.
And the captain, who was supposed to go down with the ship, that's what's supposed to happen. Captain was supposed to stay on the bridge, and he was supposed to be the last one to leave the ship. He was on the first lifeboat off.
He's like, yeah, I'll stay on the ship, and then he just pieced out.
And the Coast Guard was literally yelling at him to get back on the damn ship. And it's like, what are you doing? Get back on the fucking ship.
And there was this whole thing with like some girl that he was like basically sleeping with on board. And then it's like, yeah, and so like I wonder what she's been doing since then. And he found a picture of her like hanging out with like airplane pilots, and he's like, oh God.
So this girl, she also wants to pretend that she's actually an activist. She's not. She's just an attention seeker. That's all she does. And then, of course, there's a bunch of other shit. There were people who dove to try and steal shit off of the Costa Concordia in the wreckage, and then they finally pulled it off of the coast of the island where it was at, and then they finally started breaking it down for salvage. But
Where did it crash?
let's see,
Sink, whatever.
Costa Concordia. There we are. Costa Concordia disaster happened off of Tuscany. So it was basically, here I'll show you, like right there, just off the main Italian peninsula, just off Tuscany. That was where the rocks hit. That's the rock that was still lodged in there. And then
This happened in 2012?
Yep, it was just 10 years ago, and that's where that's how the ship was whenever it finished sinking. Basically,
he's basically like, we want to drive by and like wave at the people on the shore, and he had no idea how to actually like.
And they came
tell people how to pilot a ship, and they just kind of beached it.
Usually, the range of it, the safety range is, I think it was half a mile out. He wanted to be less than 1,000 yards out. Yeah, and that's what happened. And this was the salvage operation. They basically got some ballast tanks, filled it up with water. Got it standing straight up again, and then they filled the ballast tanks up with air to make it float again, and they towed it to be broken down. Yeah, that's what it looked like. That's the side of the ship that was underwater.
Wow.
Basically, yeah. We're showing Kate the Wikipedia article. So yeah, and he did a whole video, dude. The Costa Concordia is so infamous right now. The bell, the main like bell that they ring to like signify announcements, is missing still. Someone stole the bell off of the Costa Concordia. and it's still missing to this day.
Wow.
But he covers these topics, and it's been a while since he's done one on his main channel. So, yeah, let's go ahead and get into this. Hopefully, the memes don't overload your brain. We'll see what happens. Here we go.
Aliens. They exist. And what's more, they're here and they've been walking among us for millions of years.
Among us? Oh no.
Just look up at the night sky. Each one of those lights is probably an alien. Shoot at them, and the police show up. Coincidence? Break into the CIA, just looking for clues. They put you on a no-fly list. Coincidence? There are no coincidences, only truth bombs, and the government is holding the fuse, locked up tight in Area 51. And so our story begins with one man. Joe
Rogan?
Experience. On June 21st of the solar year 2019, Joe spoke to a whistleblower.
Right!
Bob Lazard. Now, Bob claims to have worked at the Area 51. And so, Joe summoned him to his sensory deprivation satellite, where he could ask him probing questions about that government facility.
Machine that was able to read the size of your dicks.
Yeah.
Huge.
View for yourself this incredible testimony before the UN takes it down.
You
used to work at Area 51. When did things get weird?
Well, the way this went down was I only got hands-on with one of them, and I was fucking an alien. It produced a little discharge from the bottom. It was exciting. We turned the lights on, and all these guys are there. So
what in the fuck is this?
We have, actual hardware from another civilization. It's a big...
Live in a house? That's bullshit. I like just swinging around on trees.
Absolutely.
We are the sex organs of the machine world. But for people who don't know, let's give them the bullet points. How tall are you?
I'm 5'10".
You don't seem to have any muscle. Almost like a frame. Is there anything else you'd like to say?
Well, the disc, the flying saucer that I worked on. I saw it sitting there, and I thought, oh my God.
Hey, Bob, it's probably a good idea if you shut up. I worked underground with the aliens. They shot my hand off. They're underground. There's bases. They're shooting lasers through the Earth's crust, and they move them at light speed.
You big fucking...
What? I'm not even doing anything.
Drop dead.
Hey, why don't you come on out to the Nevada desert?
Deal.
Fuck out. All right.
I love edits like that.
I love... This is what... they've done this to Joe Rogan so many times. He loves it. Yeah. It was Joe Rogan interviews Ro Jogan, and it's literally... him interviewing himself. He's like, it's good to meet you. It's good to meet you too. Do you eat elk meat? Oh, of course. I always eat elk meat. Do you eat elk meat? Nah, I'm kind of laying off of it. You pussy. It's so great. Then they have an AI that is programmed to talk like Joe Rogan. And he heard it. He's like, I have never said that before. He was just like, yo, it's Joe Rogan here. And I've got these chimpanzees that I'm feeding elk meat and bone broth. I'm gonna make them the next pro football players. It's fucking crazy. It's like, and Joe is just like, when the fuck did I ever say that? Joe, you didn't say it. Are you sure? Because I've said some pretty crazy shit when I was high. And I love that Joe Rogan started getting paid $100 million. I actually found out the deal was for $200 million from Spotify. Jesus. And, yeah. Joe has some very interesting people on his show. I'd like to be on Joe Rogan's show. Hey, Joe, hit me up. It's like some nobody with 265... Nah. All
right. That's it, folks. Good night.
These revelations were sent out all over the globe using beams.
Absolutely free.
And it started an incredible awakening, inseminating
Musk.
the people's brains with knowledge.
Who killed JFK?
Flooring them with the revelation of it all.
An orangutan with a spear.
And soon they were bursting with righteous curiosity.
Bigfoot is a human-animal hybrid.
Alright, here's the Google searches for Area 51. That big spike there, that's when Joe Rogan put out his podcast. You get the idea.
And you see, it reached the right man at just the right time. A 21-year-old named Matthew Roberts.
He's the one that put up...
He had heard about aliens in Area 51 before.
That's awesome.
And he believed. He wanted to see them. Real bad. But what could he do? How could he possibly get into Area 51 to check him out?
Think.
Scenario 1. If I ran into
I
Area
love
51,
the friggin' Mass
I would
Effect
be
games.
shot and killed. Scenario 2. If me and all of my friends ran in, we'd both be killed. But scenario 3. If there were so many of us, thousands, so much fodder that they eventually ran out of bullets, then someone, surely, is gonna get through and touch the government in its special area. My God. Within minutes, he was drafting a Facebook post. They can't stop all of us.
Willing to die for the government, let's do this.
On September 20th, 2019, we'll all meet up at the Area 51 Alien Central Tourist Attraction and coordinate our entry. If we Naruto run, we can move faster than their bullets. Let's see them aliens. This event then goes into the ether. And from here, it was up to the Facebook algorithm gods to decide what would happen next.
There's a lot here to be excited about. I think this could be very positive for our society and economy.
People from all across the flat world were receiving the invite, and they began pressing the attending button.
My God.
It's so slow.
Oh God. It's gonna happen. It's gonna... Oh, fuck. I missed.
Within just a couple of days, the event had picked up hundreds of thousands of attendees.
Yep.
People loved the idea so much, they began making memes about how they were going to raid the base. So many I can barely show you a fraction of them. Rapid fire in and out, like the bullets that would soon be gunning them down.
I made a couple of them.
And so the event spread, and spread around the internet, eventually morphing into...
Everyone who is something is gonna raid Area 51.
Young people from all over the globe are joining up to fight for the future.
Nigel, a runner. Null pointer, runner.
Stevens, agent.
Simon, a runner.
Freeman, 713. I am a sentinel.
Everyone's doing their part. Are you? We have the ships. We have the weapons.
Time to put his gun down!
Oh my
God. Woo! Oh, Alec Baldwin.
Soldiers. We need you all.
And just like that, the game was on. Halftime.
Oh no.
Here's the new campaign. You're gonna love it.
Nordman.
Oh, Nord to be.
Plans disappear. Dreams take over.
I live. I laugh. I Nord. Nord on every device like a blank canvas. I can be here and anywhere.
Jan, a man of fortune.
Will you break these chains?
But wherever I go, there you are.
NordVPN.com/internet historian.
No, thanks. Look, I just...
Yeah, it was just an idea. I know what you want. You want the female audience, and I know women. Tomorrow to you, my ladies. Have you heard about NordVPN? You should get access to the international Netflix catalog. Never miss another episode of The Handsome Man Show. Oh, don't you hate it when your dishwasher gets region locked? No more. Oh, I feel so safe in NordVPN's big, strong arms, especially with their new product, Threat Protection. It protects me from malicious sites and downloads and trackers and intrusive ads. So think pink. Think NordVPN.com/internet historian. Woo! Because the V in VPN stands for vagina.
I think we've heard enough. Fine.
Alright, I'll do the ads you like. Get Nord! You can use some threat protection. Take your online safety more seriously. Have you heard about their amazing prices? NordVPN.com/internet historian. Tell them who sent ya. Ad over.
That was a good one.
Welcome to the mission brief. Let's do a bit of background on Area 51. Secret military base, first developed in 1955. This is what it looks like on Google Maps. It's approximately this big. Total area size, 51. And the volume, a big mystery. Until 1997, the government refused to even acknowledge that it existed. That is, until they were forced to by lawsuit. That lawsuit was about the death of 2 men who were former employees. And how did they die? Well, not aliens, but rather toxic fumes from burning garbage. Yeah, so what they would do is burn a whole bunch of cool, high-tech refuse on the lot, let the deadly smoke blow downwind, and the staff was stuck breathing it in. A few years later, bing bing bong, cancer. Other than that, the public hasn't really been told anything, so all people can do is speculate as to what the hell is going on in there.
I think that they are keeping remnants of a UFO there.
We don't know if it's aliens, we don't know if it's time travel, we don't know if there's minions in there.
Virtual reality that seems so incredibly sexy.
But what has been leaked is that they do test flights on new alien craft. Motherfucker, don't you tease me. Produce new alien tech. Breed the latest version of the newest, gayest frog. Do not get it confused with Roswell. That's over here. Area 51's over here. And the final thing that we know is that security is top notch. They have that thing locked down.
Wow.
So, you want to break in anyway. Okay, but it's going to require some research. And the first thing to find out, has anyone ever tried breaking in before? Yes, several times. In fact, in January of 2019, an unnamed man broke through security barriers and drove 8 miles into the base. He got out of his car with a metal cylinder in his hands, and the military opened fire. He was shot dead at the scene. And there was this time when a film crew from the BBC was arrested for trying to get in.
This is BBC News.
This time when a vacationing family of 4 went off track. You get the idea. They're not messing around.
Put your fucking hands up. I'm not going to tell you again.
But there's one story to top them all. And Will disguise his identity, but he is my personal hero. The month is November. The location, Las Vegas. And the protagonist, a professional limo driver. Now, he's more than a little unhinged. He decides to start harassing and sending death threats to a lawyer, whom we think was going to represent his defense for this incident. If you've ever seen this TikTok, that's our boy doing donuts and driving backwards down the Las Vegas Strip. Anyway, fast forward 3 weeks. It's like 6 in the morning and this guy is already doing donuts at a car park near the airport. Then he decides to drive from the car park into the airport itself. Offense? No problem. He drives right through it and onto the runway. He's just driving around, whizzing between planes, almost crashing several times, before eventually parking on a ramp. At this point, he jumps out, puts on a clown mask, and storms right up to a private jet. He announces, aggressively, to the flight staff that there is a bomb in his limo. Quote, "I have a fucking bomb. I'm going to blow this place up." His plan? To commandeer this private jet and take it to Area 51. However, as sound as this plan was, the quick response by police meant that it wasn't really working out. So, he bails back to his limo, tries to make an escape, until eventually police catch up with him. At that point, he is quickly arrested. They take him in for questioning, and he starts telling them, "That's right, I did it to see the aliens." He also told them to refer to him as the Chosen One. And, by the way, I have high security clearance. Also, I'm involved with the mob. And someone owes me millions of dollars. Later on, the bomb defusal crew checks out the limo and determines that it's just a fire extinguisher with a bunch of wires and duct tape and some fairy lights. Now, at some point, he gets out, presumably on bail, and CNN reporters walk up to him and start asking him questions. No statements from me, he says, but you should talk to my lawyer. And then he proceeds to hand them the business card of the lawyer that he's been sending death threats to for the last 3 weeks.
Wow.
Amazing. After all that, the judge ordered that he be sent to a mental hospital for assessment. Or so they say.
Ooh, how convenient.
Wow.
Okay, so people have really died trying to do this. That means we're going to have to be a little more covert. So over at Area 51 HQ, the military can see that Facebook numbers have reached 1 million. And it doesn't take a genius to calculate that even if just 1% of them show up, that's... Wait a minute. Run those numbers. This many people. In a crowd that big, there's bound to be at least a few who'll do something stupid. In fact, the military took it so serious that they even went over the nuances of Naruto running. This is a real slide, by the way, and it required a...
The fact that there's an actual military slide that was used to brief soldiers on what the fuck Naruto running is, it's one of the greatest things I've ever seen in my whole life.
Yep.
That's real, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah, I saw that back when this was actually going on. They were like, so guys, the military actually showed slides on what Naruto running is to
That's the
people
greatest thing ever.
at Area 51.
Of Naruto running. This is a real slide, by the way, and it required a real demonstration, of course. Now, some undercover operative then took a photo of that brief, and they uploaded it to Reddit.
They intend to use our tactics against us.
So if the military decides to do this, things could go pretty badly for Matthew. So Matthew goes back to his mind palace.
Think.
Let's not keep saying it's a raid. Instead, let's do a music festival. This would give Matthew an alibi and throw authorities off the scent.
I'm willing to music festival. For the government, let's do this.
Alright, Reddit, here it is. Alien Stock 2019. The official EDM party, hosted by Matthew Roberts. Set to take place in Rachel, Nevada, a town that just so happens to neighbor Area 51. It has 50 total residents
Jesus.
and practically no infrastructure. Perfect. Yeah, nice try, fellas, said the military. And the captains and the generals all started planning their own EDM party. With the deep state.
Also, that's
groups
the
in
bully
particular.
music.
Introducing Group E, the E local state police. Police have their work cut out for them because, owing to this party, they think there could be upwards of 50,000 people descending upon the little town of Rachel.
Lincoln County commissioners trying to tackle the tough task of preparing for a potential inundation of people, since Sheriff Kerry Lee has less than 30 deputies.
The county declares a state of emergency, and they allocate an extra $250,000 worth of enforcement for the weekend of the raid, as well as an extra 300 police officers and paramedics.
That many people are going to stress the community to the point that we can't cope with it.
This is some of the most exciting stuff that I've ever gotten to work on. And I'm...
Hold on, Mark. Group D, the defense.
And I'm gonna take out my gun and shoot somebody.
So the FBI agents that showed up, they showed up at 10 a.m. They contacted my mom, and you're like, so she texted me, she's like, FBI's here, answer your phone. So, because I was kind of scared at this point, but...
This report from the Nevada Department of Public Safety was released last year, and it features some very interesting details. For example, they caught a group of YouTubers trying to plant a tracker on the bus that goes to and from the base.
We're gonna pull an epic prank.
Highly illegal. And you may not be that surprised to hear that the military isn't actually that worried about people breaking into the base. Turns out, they have automated weapons. Not automatic weapons. Automated, whatever that is. No, instead, they think there's potential that real terrorists will, do a thing, or a thing. So, counterterrorism was given a budget to sweep for chemical, biological, radiological, and explosive material. Although, nothing was found. And there's just one last group getting involved as well.
Media.
The corporate press. Disinformation agents in the mainstream media were getting involved. They immediately started warning people not to raid.
Use of lethal force authorized.
Spouting contempt for the stormers.
What started as a joke Facebook event quickly turned into a phenomenon reaching
Well, it
millions.
began as a joke.
It appears
Now it's
the
turned
US Air
into
Force is
something
taking
much
these
more
threats
serious.
Astroturfing campaigns by late night haha men number 1 through 7.
It's much more likely they'll see them tasers.
Laugh it all up. It's just a big joke.
People who say they're interested just keeps growing. Faster than their bullets. Let's see them aliens.
And they weren't afraid to give some of the biggest, brainest takes you've ever heard.
It's not clear the 1.1 million Facebook followers who said they are going to storm Area 51 are real and not Russian bots.
Yo, God! Did they really do that?
Russian bots, Chinese bots, Canadian bots, Mexican
fucking
bots,
Fox
Brazilian
News.
bots, German bots, like Spanish bots, Ethiopian bots. Dude, like...
God forbid people see a funny idea on Facebook and actually just click the fucking button. Like, you know, clearly nobody would ever do something like that, and it has to be robots.
Also, I guarantee you she's one of these crystal healing people. It's just like, the harmonics of the crystals makes my body heal faster. Right.
Sure.
Hey, if that's what you believe, have at it. I'm gonna get a Band-Aid. Just, you know, easy.
Goddamn genius!
Fine. We'll make you take us seriously. Let the training begin.
And speaking of that, I think it's time for my workout.
And so the Raiders began training.
We train for Area 51, so let's go. Sandwich!
They began pushing their bodies.
Wow.
Pushing their will. Pushing their spirits. Pushing their mind.
Oh my gosh.
Pushing their friends and family's patience to the limit.
Who wants to call me to kick some alien butt? In September, join me. We out.
And that's what fitness will be like in the metaverse.
As we zero in on the day of the raid, the count is up to 2 million attendees, and that puts us on par with the world's largest standing army. So to coordinate all of these troops, we'll need a battle strategy.
Lay it on us.
From r/memes, intel was being filtered down to the troops. Groups such as the Minecraft YouTubers, the Normans, the Weebs, Facebook moms, the Piles, the Chads, the Crackheads.
Is this a 5 o'clock free crack giveaway?
Florida Man, the Australians, the gay Reddit mods.
Okay, this thread is locked.
And the North Korean defectors. They all had their role to play.
Wow.
So, Godzilla comes in from the east while the Australians make a distraction that allows the Minion cosplayers to breach from the south. Of course, these very serious strategies would have to be disguised as memes, so that they could be spread across YouTube, Reddit, and TikTok without the threat of being... Although, not everyone was as tech-savvy. Authorities managed to nab one of the main cartographers, and they pressured him into an interview on the television.
It took me a total of 5 minutes to put this image together. It was sort of like a battle strategy almost.
It was completely rooted in satire.
That was just completely rooted in satire.
And no one should raid, this is just completely a joke.
And completely just a joke.
Mission counting sheeple complete. You can take them out. Okay, so remember how we're not raiding anymore and it's just a music festival? Wink, 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 wink. Well, bad news.
Okay, so it sounds like maybe you're looking at changing venues. Possibly.
It's
all up in the air. We're putting Maddie on the spot here.
There's a lot of challenges, so.
But it's 2 weeks away, so. It's kind of gotta like figure it out, I guess, somewhat soon, right?
Yeah, it's all kind of falling apart. See, Matthew had organized Alien Stock with a few other people, but his main business partner was Connie West.
I didn't plan it. It planned me.
But Matthew is the headline. His name is attached to everything. And he's starting to get worried about a fire festival type situation in the desert.
Be a Firefest 2.0.
He wanted to make sure there's plenty of water, food, security, insurance, etc., etc. And here, deals and communications start to break down. Eventually, there's a lawsuit and it's kind of boring.
Things that they were supposed to pay for, I'm stuck paying for.
Who cares?
We're going to skip it. But the TLDR is that they had a disagreement, and Connie said,
I don't have to prove to you what I spent. You didn't sign a fucking contract with me to begin with. So guess what? I don't need to prove to you a motherfucking thing.
And Matthew said, Matthew then took $70,000 worth of sponsorship money and declared Alien Stock and Rachel cancelled. But then, at the same time, Bud Light walks in.
It's the Bud Night. We're saved.
They say, hey, why not do it here? In the Vegas. It has plenty of lighting, indoor plumbing, it has everything. Matthew said yes. And then using the website for Alien Stock, he told everyone to not go to Rachel and instead to go to Vegas. Welcome to Alien Stock Las Vegas, sponsored by Bud Light. and also Pornhub, but it's a long story. Connie was left to pick up the pieces. However, she would not be discouraged so easily. She decided to press on.
It's going to be a great party. No matter what, it's going to be a great party.
She had to take full control of the event in Rachel, dipping into her savings and even mortgaging her home.
I'm working out of my own pocket.
I think this is a liability. I'm out.
So is it clear what's going on? It's worth doing a very fast recap because there's an event in Rachel that's been declared cancelled but also not cancelled. Also, I forgot to mention there's an event in Hiko that isn't cancelled but it will be on the second day. There's also that third festival in Las Vegas, which has the former promoter of the first one and they both share the same damn name. And none of this has anything to do with the actual raid on Area 51, which is here, which has several gated entrances by the way, and none of them have been declared the official gathering point. Confused? Yeah, pretty much everyone was. It's a goddamn mess. People, rightfully, put the whole thing in the too hard basket, and instead of going to one in the middle of nowhere, just went to the one in Vegas.
I mean, why not?
Let's fast forward to the weekend of the raid. For better or worse, Rachel is about to open its doors to the millennials.
Hell yeah! Aliens! Encore now has come to an abrupt halt.
Don't let the aliens get you, Kim.
Exactly.
Do you believe in aliens?
I don't. Run! Get out of here!
Oh, you know, I want to hear about the alien liberal agenda. They could have some good talking points. We don't know.
To protect my mind from interference.
We have a wanderer.
Don't let me leave, Murph!
It could be anything stuff.
Shit.
But it's alien stuff.
How do you see walking with that shirt up over your head like that?
I know. And the first ones are supposed to be always, the best ones. Paranormal lawyer. PhD level field investigator.
Stuff in downtown Las Vegas. Did they change the name or is it still alien stock?
I think I'm on my highest high I've ever been in my life. Look at it.
And we are taking a look kind of the area here. You've done a lot of work in a very short period of time.
The security's here, the medical's here, the food is here, the people are here. And most importantly...
Yeah, 3 people.
Toilets are here.
Yeah. A lot of shitters.
Yeah, that was pretty good.
I just went through a breakup, guys.
Well, it wasn't quite the event that they had hoped for, but they did do a commendable job of acting retarded for the news.
This is the most fun I've ever had in my life.
You think of yourself as a hero?
I do. Here for scientific reasons.
This is like the most millennial thing that's ever happened.
But don't let's forget, Hiko. Or the Heiko. No one knows how to pronounce it. This event was being hosted by George Harris of the Alien Research Center.
The owner of the center is Las Vegas businessman George Harris, creator of Alien Tequila.
If you want to have fun, if you want to have a great look, it's a great day.
Base camp was equipped with a vendor village of 10 food trucks, a gift shop, and 3-time Grammy Award winner Paul Oakenfold. For some reason.
I was told there's a lot of people coming.
Well, right now things are kind of slow at the Heiko event here, so that's kind of a disappointment.
Now, Hiko Base Camp was expecting somewhere between 1,000 and 20,000 attendees.
Anyone want to take a guess how many showed up to Hiko Base Camp?
20.
5.
I would say less than 500. I would say maybe 200.
Oh.
I just that as a guess. I mean, I don't know, but I feel bad for the guy. I also feel bad for Paul Oakenfold because
I hadn't heard about any of these things. As far as I knew, everyone on the internet was still talking about it. Like, it's a raid on Area 51. Everyone talked about it like they assumed you'd just show up outside the quote-unquote front gate, even though there's apparently multiple gates. We didn't know that Vegas was happening. We didn't know there was the 2 things happening in the other towns. So my guess is hardly anybody actually knew about any of this.
Well, I'm surprised they didn't get Tom DeLonge from Blink 182 because he's a big alien conspiracy guy. Huge. Anyway, sorry.
It's quite a range.
Maybe 50 people here.
Clapping some alien cheeks.
Yeah, but no cheeks are clapped.
Where's
at
the
all.
cheeks?
None.
Where's
Zero
the
cheeks.
cheeks?
This is the first of a big thing.
But it wasn't. In fact, it seems as though the majority of the attendees were actually the press.
One lady believes that her parents is actually alien.
So, after the first night, they decided to cut their losses and cancelled the whole event.
You know, the producers of the show, it's very, very, very expensive. And it just didn't make sense.
Because basically all of the attendees were stolen by...
Alien Stock 2019!
We were going to go out to Rachel, and then we decided that we didn't want to get stuck in the desert. As much as I like Mad Max, I don't want to live it.
The Las Vegas Alien Stock, sponsored by Bud Light, was a smash hit. They've got carnival rides, photo ops, video games,
Gravitron, dude.
and even a pool. No running.
Who could have predicted this? You make a post at 2 a.m. on a page that has 62 likes, and now you have thousands of people that are ready to come out.
See, that's cool. I didn't even know that happened.
Absolutely amazing.
So.
I wouldn't mind going to that.
Back at Military HQ in Anne Orlando, operations were ramping up.
Anne
They're adding
Orlando.
more guards, upping the security, and enforcing a no-fly zone across the county. They were even infiltrating raider groups.
You could be standing next to an officer and not even know it. There's a undercover presence here.
And they were giving stern warnings from the PR team. They posted this tweet. The last thing millennials will see if they attempt to raid Area 51 today.
Sorry to disappoint you, Yugi. Huh? You triggered my trap card!
Millennials immediately seized upon the tweet, doing what they do best by pretending to be offended, successfully having the tweet taken down, and forcing a public apology.
I'm retarded.
Alright, this video is getting very long. Let's hurry up to the main event. The raid.
Hey, are you coming?
Yeah.
And here we go. Guarantee aliens looked down upon us as this was happening. Like, dear God.
There's Anne Orlando again. Oh, come on. I would have got copyright struck. That's my favorite Naruto song. It's actually a remix version too. I like the drums to that.
Didn't realize they had Shikamaru playing this shit out. I wish this is how it really would have went. This is friggin' hilarious.
どうする?
そやつの目に砂を浴びせ鼻を折ります。はい。
Oh my God. Drones. Wow. Hoverboards and drones.
Smoking these meats.
What's right here?
Look at him back!
Yeah, a little limbo.
Yeah!
兵が足りません。我が子を見捨てるのはつらく、他の手立てがあります。それは誇りのない。
Uh-oh.
屋敷勝利。愚かなさん、我は浜で死にました。もう。
Oh That was epic. Oh. Uh-oh. No. Yeah.
Oh my god.
Thank you for saving us.
Big jiggly anime, big jiggly titties.
We are so grateful and horny. And yes, we wish to be your big titty goth alien GFs.
Wow.
And you won't be a virgin Reddit browser anymore.
Wow.
I wouldn't quite like that. It was pretty close to something like that. Although I guess you could say that only a small group showed up to the main gates themselves.
Well, the million people.
Of over 2 million people, in total only about 200 actually went. But it's not about the quantity, it's the quality that counts.
Nice outfit.
Thank you.
No, throw him over!
No!
People mostly behaved themselves.
I mean, I think it's awesome. You guys are following the laws, following directions. So.
But they weren't about to leave without a consolation prize. Get some of the Area 51 soil. Top secret rock. Top secret rock.
Where are they? You can have it. It's from Area 51.
Thank you.
Okay.
Also present at the raid were a few YouTubers.
So I came here to get myself an alien as a pet.
We're here to rescue the aliens!
It's like Halloween, but we're just annoying people.
Are you guys gamers? Play games? No? You watch anime?
Yeah, so you got the rebellious youth, and then you got people trying to lure E.T. into a cage with Reese's Pieces and stuff. That's a pretty good summary of the crowd that you have out here this weekend.
But respect to the true heroes. Security. For keeping everyone... just kidding. It's the guys who got underneath this fence. God bless them.
Oh no!
And this cameraman, whose foot raided the base.
That's a foot I see.
And this random woman who decides to just start walking. Police, right there. No one's stopping her. Oh my god. She's gonna make it. She's going home. She gets charged for trespassing and receives a $1,000 fine. But soon it was time to wrap up.
The storm is over.
Because everyone's moms were there to pick them up. And if they were late again, there would be big trouble.
Good night, everyone. Yeah, I'm going to sleep now.
Psych, it's not over.
There's one more thing that I want to tell you about today.
Because storming Area 51 would go on to inspire a plethora of other events. The storming of Loch Ness. That thing can't hide from all of us.
We think we have seen it.
What did it look like?
It looks like a big stone.
Over 27,000 said they were going. Actual number 6. Okay, fine. Storm the Bermuda Triangle, why not? It can't drown all of us. And potentially millions actually went. But the evidence would be lost, so how would you know?
I am under the water. Please help me.
How about Storm the Gravity? They can't molest us all. Interesting twist on that one, though. Someone cancelled the event. But overall, everyone had a pretty good time. Isn't that what Area 51 was really built for? Or something like that, you know what I mean? I haven't quite... But now, remember when I said that we were going to do shorter videos and also more frequently? Looks like you fell for it. Ha 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 ha. Ha 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 ha. See you in the next one in 2 years. Or check out the Incognito Mode channel. That has a lot more upload. Goodbye.
I can see why this took him a fucking year to make.
Jesus.
That was a lot.
That was... Whew. That was a lot. Jesus. I feel...
Now, yeah, well, the other thing is now he has to wait for something else significant to happen to document.
Well, no, I guarantee you there's something that's already happened and he's already started work.
Because, I mean, he already did COVID, like, more recently after it happened. So.
Well, he could obviously do another one basically being like, oh yeah, COVID's over now. Wasn't that crazy? But I don't know. The virus. Which got demonetized because spreading misinformation. It literally got demonetized because it said it was spreading misinformation. I'm just like, we didn't say anything.
It was freaking satirical.
Yeah, that's what it's supposed to be. But, oh well. I don't know. So, Kate, your first experience with Internet Historian, what did you think?
Well...
bit of a mind, like it's almost like he opens up your top of your head and like scoops out your brain and then just dumps in a whole boatload of memes.
Yeah.
And you know what? It was fine. It was good.
Yeah.
It was good.
Pretty good.
There's other ones that he's done that I will say the pacing is probably a little bit better, but this one I could definitely see the reason why it took so long.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the great thing too is like it's hilarious and just grade A comedy stuff, but at the same time he is also being informative for the most part. I mean, other than like the obvious Area 51 raid recreation bit, like he's not being facetious about what happened. Like he's like joking about it sometimes, He's like, well, obviously this happened, and it's like, it's like, yeah, no, it didn't. This happened, but like he's actually being informative of things you might not have heard about these events, which is cool because you can learn something while you laugh.
Well, like we didn't know about the Costa Concordia.
Yeah, I didn't know anything about it, so I got to learn all about that.
I knew about this going camping at the end of the world. It's basically about the dude Harold Camping who predicted the end of the world. And the sheer stupidity that came out of it, which is was hilarious.
I knew about what was the name of that convention with the ball pit?
Oh, DashCon.
Yeah, DashCon. I knew about DashCon because like at the time I was dating Oxy, and she was a big cosplay community person, so she was showing me like the memes about the ball pit and stuff.
Jump in the pit
when it happened, but like I still found out a lot more about how exactly much of like a clusterfuck that was when I watched his video
massive
about
clusterfuck.
Yeah,
epic clusterfuck.
And I'd heard the name Rainforest, but I didn't get like all of the details of exactly what went down until I watched his video.
I hear you. But dear God, what a freaking like crazy ass like thing, like. The betrayal, no aliens in this actually. But
this is actually probably one of the least disastrous things he's covered.
Yes.
Like, Because I mean, I didn't even know that they had the event in Vegas that actually went pretty well. Like
I
I thought it was just like, yeah,
Sponsor,
a very
too.
small amount of people showed up and nothing happened.
Well, if I ever find myself out in Vegas during that time, I'll go to the alien convention. I'll put on a tinfoil hat and pretend like I give a shit about aliens. What? I mean, honestly, I could care less. If an alien came down to Earth right now, I'd be like, oh, hey, so you do exist. Awesome. So anyway, yeah, back to the YouTube channel. I mean, honestly, I'm just too busy like trying to live my own life versus, trying to be like, aliens, bro, aliens. I mean, that's what you want to devote your life to, go ahead, but I'm just not interested. So, all right, I think that's gonna do it. That was That Zone Between Area 50 and 52. Great title, by the way. Yeah, so Internet Historian, once again, keeping it real, keep kicking ass, and I guess we'll see y'all on the next one. So until then, I'm Nate.
I'm Kate.
I am Nick.
We'll see you later, everybody.
See ya.
Bye-bye. Aliens!